Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to ask the question, did Pokemon just confirm that Red Victini, the black and white rare Victini, is in both Black Bolt and White Flare? Now, we need to start this video with a very clear warning. This has not been officially confirmed. I am reading between the lines. I think I'm right, and I'm going to explain in great detail why I think I'm right. But just to be clear, I am looking at what Pokemon have shown us, and I am making what I believe to be our sensible guesses and extrapolations. That is what is happening here. There have been rumors that Red Victini, the black and white Victini, the black and white rare Victini is in both sets. I am not giving credence to them until we have confirmation. What I am looking at here is purely, I think they've let it slip. And I'm going to explain why I think they've let it slip. But my guess here, my prediction is based purely on the information I'm going to show you here. And the information is this. The set list Pokemon just showed us. They showed us the list of Pokemon which are in the sets. Now, when I looked at this a minute ago, or earlier, or whenever that video was, I told you that they had switched around Mandibuzz and Braviary, they had swapped sets, and that they had switched around Klinklang and Chandelure, they had swapped sets. That had happened. That is not actually the only thing I noticed when I looked at this list, but I figured like we needed to actually spend 5 minutes looking at this properly. Because something else jumped out like a sore thumb to me, and that is Victini's on both of them. Victini is on both of these. Why is Victini on both of them? And I think the answer is that the Red Victini is going to be in both sets. Now, follow my logic here. Victini is in Black Bolt. In Japan, it's in Black Bolt. There's no reason to believe it wouldn't also be in Black Bolt over here as well. Now, I am fully aware that I've already told you that some of these have swapped. I gave you a little list a minute ago of Pokemon that have swapped from one set to the other. So this is the point where a bunch of you go, well, hang on a second, Wassy. Why could Victini not have been one of the ones to swap? Glad you asked. We know that Mandibuzz and Braviary swapped. Mandibuzz went one way, Braviary went the other way. We know that Klinklang and Chandelure swapped. One went one way, one went the other way. In both situations, we saw them swapping. What we didn't see was one Pokemon going in one direction, not to be replaced. But even if, let's just say for argument's sake, let's assume that Victini did, in fact, move from Black Bolt to White Flare, well, surely it would now be in White Flare and it wouldn't be on both the pictures. It's on both the pictures. And no, I don't think it makes sense for regular Victini only to be in both sets. I don't understand that. Now, if you put Red Victini in both sets, then I do think there is absolute cause for putting regular Victini into both sets, just to save confusion, but I do not think just putting regular Victini in both sets makes any sense whatsoever. I mean, come on, we've already got the Victini illustration collection. Victini as a Pokemon is already going to be easy enough to get hold of. Do we honestly think Pokemon are doing this Victini illustration collection and then putting regular Victini into both Black Bolt and White Flare without the Red Victini? How does that make any sense? I don't get that. That doesn't compute. I don't see any logical reason to do that. Now, is there a logical reason to put Red Victini in both sets? Oh my word, yes. Because my previous prediction was that we were going to be getting Red Victini only in Black Bolt, and we were going to be getting Cherin in White Flare. The reason why it would be that way around is because regular Victini's in Black Bolt, so it would make sense that Red Victini would be in Black Bolt. Cherin was the other secret rare that would be needed to be added into the set. And from the numbering of the black and white rare Reshiram and Zekrom, we know that one secret rare has been added to each set. That is another very important point we need to make here. We know that there is one extra secret rare added to each set. I went through the numbers properly in another video, but basically, if you have a look at the Japanese numbering and the English numbering, they should be one number more away than they are. They are one number closer than they should be, and the only way that happens is adding one secret rare into each set. So we basically at this point know there is one extra secret rare per set. And my previous prediction was that we would be getting Victini in Black Bolt to match the fact regular Victini's in there, and Cherin in White Flare because it's the only other secret rare that matches the set that Japan has had that we haven't had. And I stand by that as a very sensible prediction. Here's the problem with that prediction, and I pointed this out myself. If that is the case, Black Bolt becomes a way better set. Black and white rare Victini and full art Cherin are not even cards in terms of how much people want them, in terms of value and all of that. They are not even cards, and I'm not pretending for a second that they are. So that makes Black Bolt way more popular. And here's the problem with that. There's a bunch of products in Black Bolt and White Flare that are split. The booster bundles are either Black Bolt or White Flare. The binder collections are either Black Bolt or White Flare. The Elite Trainer boxes are either Black Bolt or White Flare. The tech sticker collections are either Black Bolt or White Flare. We don't want a situation where one of the sets is way more sought after than the other, because then you get people who find Elite Trainer boxes, but oh no, wait, it's the wrong set, and they're upset about that. Pokemon doesn't want that. Pokemon does not want a split set where one is way more sought after than the other. Yes, it has happened in Japan before. No, Pokemon don't want to replicate it over here. How do you get Red Victini into the set without making one of the sets way more sought after and way more valuable than the other? You put Red Victini into both sets. Which honestly kind of makes sense because Victini is a bit of a special Pokemon. So you can do that, and canonically, logically, it actually makes a weird kind of sense. I don't see any real argument against this. In my head, this has now confirmed it. It's not actually been confirmed. Pokemon haven't told us. They've not released the actual set list. I could be wrong, and I need to stress that very clearly. However, I don't see any reason to put regular Victini into both sets other than, well, Red Victini's in both sets and it's confusing if you don't. We've already got the illustration collection, so we don't need to put Victini into both sets. We know that there is an extra secret rare in each of our Black Bolt and White Flare over Japan's, and we know that by looking at the numbering of Reshiram and Zekrom, and we've taken some secret rares out for stuff like the tech sticker collections. So we know that there should be, we know the numbers should be different from Japan, but we know what the numbers should be, and both Reshiram and Zekrom Black and White Rare are one number higher than they should be. That tells us that each of those sets has one extra secret rare in. There is an issue with making it Victini in one set and Cherin in the other. Those cards are not equal. It would make sense to put Red Victini into both, so now we've got two Black and White Rares in each set. In Black Bolt, we got Zekrom and Victini. In White Flare, we got Reshiram and Victini. Now things are even. And Victini is in both sets. And as I've told you, I don't see an explanation for putting Victini into both sets unless this is the case. Maybe I'm extrapolating too far from little information, but I've been thinking about this for a while. I can't see any other logical explanation. Regular Victini in both sets doesn't make sense. Red Victini in both sets actually does. We have to be getting an extra secret rare in each set, and we've only got Victini and Cherin, and honestly, Victini in both does make more sense than Victini in one and Cherin in another. Yes, there is then a big question about what happens with Cherin. Where is that? I don't know. Sorry, don't know. We'll find that one out later. For now, I've given you my argument, I've told you what I think, and now it's over to you guys. Do you think we are going to be getting Red Victini in both sets, or am I just going a bit too far? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kind of fun things. And get shout outs on the channel like the lovely Andrew Kincaid, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. And in fact, I've met them at several events, are often helping out at the Play Lab, and from everything I can tell, they are in fact a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.